true. Take a seat, cause the seats them can't lose. You can't see, the next party confused. Don't talk about one term, I want two. PPC, where the people them choose. If you not vote, the whole country gonna lose. If you want to know who are the president for true, or finally him are the man for them true. Yeah, so vote up, vote up, vote up, vote, vote up, vote up, vote up, no, vote up, vote up, vote up, vote, vote up, vote up, vote up, vote. Blaze up, blaze up, blaze up, blaze, blaze up, blaze up, blaze up, blaze. Earth finally pass through. Take a seat, cause the seats them can't lose. You can't see, the next party confused. Don't talk about one term, I want two. PPC, where the people them choose. If you not vote, the whole country gonna lose. If you want to know who are the president for true, Earth finally him are the man for them true. Yeah, so vote up, vote up, vote up, vote, vote up, vote up, vote up, no, vote up, vote up, vote up, vote, vote up, vote up, vote up, vote. Blaze up, blaze up, blaze up, blaze, blaze up, blaze up, blaze up, blaze. Earth finally pass through. Take a seat, cause the seats them can't lose. You can't see, the next party confused. Don't talk about one term, I want two. PPC, where the people them choose. If you not vote, the whole country gonna lose. If you want to know who are the president for true, Earth finally him are the man for them true. Yeah, so vote up, vote up, vote up, vote, vote up, vote up, vote up, no, vote up, vote up, vote up, vote, vote up, vote up, vote up, vote.
Yeah, 5 more years, 5 more years on them, 5 more years on them, 5 more years on them, 5 more years. PPP winning this again, 5 more years on them. Let's all vibe, give thanks for life. Irfan winning this again, PPP winning this again. 5 more years on them. Let's all vibe, give thanks for life. Irfan winning this again. Progress must continue. Progress must continue, yeah. Progress must continue. Irfan winning it again, yeah. Progress must continue. Progress must continue, yeah. Progress must continue. Irfan winning it again.
Under the sky so wide and blue, Ali's heart beats strong and true, building dreams with every stone he lays. Hands that guide, a voice that leads, planting hope like scattered seeds. For every child and every road he paves.
Through every storm, through every time.
promises he vowed to keep, lighting up the night with brighter days. From every village to the coast, he's the leader we need the most. Ali's vision sets the world ablaze.
On the throne, real man of action, we not alone. Forward ever, Guyana lift. Them attack, but Ali bring the gift. Watch this! Ali not drift, him steady on the mission. Real progress, this a PP vision. Job them a gift, house key for the citizen. Nation rise up, yeah we winning again. Ali not drift, watch the infrastructure shift. New road, new bridge, everything legit. Hospital bill, school them uplift. 2025 we voting, PPP they fi give. Under Ali country growing fast. Them try stop we but them living in the past. Real money working, benefits spread wide. Water and light reach every countryside. Guyana look nice, clean and crisp. Foreign investors they on the list. Ali work hard, him now make a slip. Stadium, airport, PPP make it flow. Ali not drift, him steady on the mission. Real progress, this a PP vision. Job them a gift, house key for the citizen. Nation rise up, yeah we winning again. Ali not drift, watch the infrastructure shift. New road, new bridge, everything legit. Hospital bill, school them uplift. 2025 we voting, PPP they fi gift. Them say talk, Ali say do. Delivering results, that's how we true. Youth get take up, business support, education free. That's the report. We not stop now, this just the start. PPP leading with people at heart. Ali they pan ground, meeting the crowd. Unity strong, we Guyanese proud. Vote come in, them can't resist. PPP cup full, them can't dismiss. Ali and team, them make we uplift. We drift to success, and we not drift. Ali not drift, him steady on the mission. Real progress, this a PP vision. Job them a gift, house key for the citizen. Nation rise up, yeah we winning again. Ali not drift, watch the infrastructure shift. New road, new bridge, everything legit. Hospital bill, school them uplift. 2025 we voting, PPP they fi gift. Ali bring the gift. Cup, PPP never slip. Ali, him bring the uplift. 2025 we vote and drift.
Oh, it's one man leading this country, right? Ali, we're ready. Let's go. Ali delivering progress on the ground, from Parika to Bird, developments all around. Ali delivering schools and roads and jobs. This is demand for the people. He working non-stop. So wave your flag, let me celebrate. Vote PPPC before it's too late. Ali delivering, yeah. Ali delivering. Whoa. 5 more years, let we keep on winning. He bringing water in the tap, fiber in the town, housing schemes springing up all across the region now. Hospital and school free, CSANT and CAP. Look how this man changing the whole landscape. Land for young people, support for farmers, cash grants flowing like the Essequibo waters. Minimum wage raise, cost of living down. Ali is a leader who always sticking around. Ali delivering lights and clean water, better infrastructure for every son and daughter. Ali delivering high-speed connection, laptops, tablets, and big pension. So wave your flag, let we celebrate. Vote PPPC before it's too late. Ali delivering, Ali delivering. 5 more years, let we keep on winning. He walking into villages, hugging granny and youth, not a suit and tie.
It's election time again. And the only political party that have the Guyanese citizens at heart is the People's Progressive Party. We vote in PPPC, them is the only choice for we. We vote in PPPC, them is the only choice for we. Vote for progress, togetherness, prosperity. All we vote in PPPC, them is the only choice for we. We vote in PPPC, them is the only choice for we. Vote for progress, togetherness, prosperity. All we vote in. When PPP there in office, them just go straight to work. Roll back on taxes, easy burden, build back trust. House that for everybody, community roads bill, scholarship to open gate, training you to elevate. The farmers getting help, the Guyanese building wealth, the PPP working hard to build this nation strong. Job creation left and right, the PPP doing it right. Come election day, we vote in PPP again. We vote in PPP.
Wake up, good day is bright, and I feel the glow. Turn your dial for your phone, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel.
News, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way.
We found out that the Mohammeds have been frequently visiting the Venezuelan embassy here in Georgetown. Now, you can recall that we've had congressmen in the United States of America who have been very vocal in connecting the Mohammeds to Nicolas Maduro and his regime, particularly as it relates to smuggling and the sanctions that have been placed on Venezuela.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. It's wonderful to be here with you. It's the 13th of August, 2025. And look, listen, every day, more and more. Oh, Lord. I really don't know what to say anymore. Every day is something new, you know? And we wonder why sometimes persons say Guyana is not a real place, eh? But morning to all those persons joining us on YouTube. Morning to all the persons joining us on Facebook as well. Special good morning to all you joining us here on TikTok. Make sure you follow the page, tap the screen, share the live so persons can tune in as well. Really happy to have you guys here. Now, yesterday we heard from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Hugh Todd, in relation to some Guyanese citizens frequenting the Venezuelan embassy. Now, what I want to say to you this morning is this Venezuela issue with our sovereignty, we're supposed to stand as one in relation to that, right? So I don't know if it's a case where us and his father are going to tell the Venezuelans through their ambassador to leave Guyana alone. I don't know. But, you know, it's not a good look on you. It's not a good look on you and your team, right? Nevertheless, we got a set of stuff to discuss here as we dive deeper into this Guyana-Venezuela wind party situation. Now, one of the main things I want to share with you this morning, wind's ties to Venezuela is very dangerous. And I'm hoping that persons take note and understand what is playing out here, right? Now, the Wins party, their presidential candidate, their public face, the face that everybody knows as Mohammed, has been making frequent visits to the Venezuelan embassy here in Guyana, right? Which was revealed, as I said, by the Foreign Affairs Minister. Now, what is more damning? Because persons are saying that this is a hoax, this is not true. What is more damning is that the Venezuelan ambassador himself confirmed that Mohammed recently applied for a visa to Caracas, right when Venezuela is actively trying to destabilize Guyana over the border case. Right? They're not friendly visits. They're not friendly visits. These visits raise serious questions about loyalty and intent. And I'm not talking loyalty to any political party. I'm talking loyalty to this country, loyalty to the Guyanese people, loyalty to the sovereignty of this country, loyalty to the independence of this country. And indeed, what is the intent? What are you hoping to accomplish given what is going on between Guyana and Venezuela right now? No, we cannot put aside. We cannot put aside what we would have heard from the US Congress persons. This guy was labeled as a pro-Maduro puppet. Right? Congressman Carlos had bluntly called Assadine Mohammed a pro-Maduro puppet, and labeled him the pro-Maduro puppet candidate. Wynn's leadership is linked to a regime that openly wants to seize Guyanese land and undermine our democracy here. Any political party aligning with Maduro is aligning against Guyana. And all those persons who, listen, I am not vexed with anybody for putting on a Win jersey, saying they want to support Win, they want to vote for Win. I am upset because these persons aren't taking other Guyanese into consideration. These persons would see information in front of their face and still go down this road. You have a choice, but is that a viable choice? Where would that choice put you in the future? Right? Now, the US sanction, the sanctions that were put in place against the Mohammed, right, happened in June 2024. The OFAC, US Treasury, the OFAC department sanctioned Shell and AS. And this was not personal to them only. It happened, the companies that they had were also sanctioned as well. Now, what was this for? Right? What was this for? Massive gold smuggling and tax fraud. Over 10,000 kilograms of gold undeclared or underdeclared, costing Guyana US $50 million. Right? The US says these activities were tied to Venezuela, the same regime threatening Guyana's sovereignty. And that's to show you how some of these people are. As is at a point now where he feels whatever is necessary to save myself, I will do. Right? Whatever is necessary to save myself, I will do. Now, what y'all need to understand is the Win Party is being bankrolled and led by people under serious international sanctions. Now, Minister Houghton warns that Venezuela will use any opportunity to derail Guyana's CCJ case. And that's what persons need to understand as well. And this is not limited to including propping up compromised political figures. Wynn's links to the Maduro regime make them a direct national security risk. Now, all that aside, we must look at the fact that this whole situation is betraying Guyana's interests. While patriotic Guyanese defend our borders, the GDF soldiers, the police, everybody who's on the front line, the Mohammeds are knocking on Maduro's door. Their political ambitions appear tied to a foreign power's agenda, not the welfare of the Guyanese people. Right? Yes, Max, I know very well who smuggled the gold. Mohammeds. Now, with all of this going on, what are the ramifications? There's a possibility of a national security collapse. Venezuela's influence could infiltrate Guyana's parliament through Wynn's leadership. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? AS is supported by Maduro if they win 1 or 2 seats, because I personally think they will pull votes from the opposition. I've said this over and over to people that there might be some disgruntled persons from the PPP who will vote Wynn out of spite. I'm saying it. There might be some disgruntled persons from the PPP who will vote Wynn out of spite. But the majority of Wynn's support base is the persons who would usually, well, not all of them, but most of them, the person who would usually scrape out for the PNC. So now that they have come over to Wynn, in my opinion, I do see the APNU losing 1 or 2 seats in the National Assembly. Now, with us as the presidential candidate, most likely he will occupy 1 of those seats because that will make him a member of parliament and whatever, I think members of parliament have diplomatic status and all kind of thing. At the end of the day, with his loyalties to the people who want to take part of Guyana, they now have access to our National Assembly to push their agenda. Sensitive information about Guyana's ICJ strategy and national security could be compromised. At the end of the day, members of parliament from the government and opposition sit on various, not councils, committees, national security, economic committee, audit, all kind of committee. This guy could be in our parliament feeding our strategies and information to defend ourselves, to maintain our sovereignty to the enemy. How are persons that following this guy not taking note of this? Or how is this not raising some sort of red flag? We should also look at the economic devastation. Now, US and allied nations could impose sanctions on Guyana if Wynn takes power and aligns with sanctioned actors. No, I've said this before. Whilst Guyana produces what it needs to survive food-wise and that kind of thing, a lot of the stuff that we have going on here or is available here is not made here. It's not. Right? Some of it comes from the US, some come from China, come from all over the place. Some of those other places that export things that we need are allies of the US. The US has more bargaining power than us as Guyanese. So let's say we, God forbid, Azardine Mohammed becomes president of this country. And the US says, you know what? Since you are the president, we are not dealing with you until your term finishes. They vote you in for next term. It's 10 years, we ain't got nothing to do with Guyana. You know what the US will say to their allies as well, from all these groupings that Guyana are part of, I think? They're going to say, well, listen then. I don't want to call no country name and involved, but they will say to other, the US will say to other countries, if you want to continue dealing with us, you ease up dealing with Guyana because Guyana are not following the rules. You understand? Guyana has aligned itself with this sanctioned individual. So we don't want you to align yourself with that if you're dealing with us. You think places like Trinidad and Barbados and those places who depend heavily on tourism and those kinds of things aside with Guyana over the US? I mean, they're going to try and push back a little, but at the end of the day, a lot of these countries get help and a lot of their programs pass through USAID and all these other agencies which are US based. Right? So apart from economic devastation, this diplomatic isolation, which I just spoke about. Now, Guyana could be shunned by CARICOM, as like I said, CARICOM deals with the US, OAS, and major development partners. You think places like the IDB and the IMF will show interest in Guyana as some place they would invest their money in for development if the whole country falls on the sanction list because of one idiot? Think about it. Our long-standing allies, especially the US, could suspend cooperation and assistance. And what does that do for the larger public? This idiot, Dr. Mark DeForge, telling people, oh, Guyana is a sovereign nation. Guyana is a sovereign nation. Of course, we know that. That's why we fighting in the ICJ to stop Venezuela and the trash. But you are in bed with Dr. DeFrance. Where the people money? Oh, Jesus Christ. Dr. DeFrance, where the people money? Where is the people money? You got some, according to Doggy and the loan shark, you got $17 million outstanding plus the money we borrow, brother. This is a serious gambling habit. So back to cricket. If we go down this path, that takes us to the point where the US and its allies suspend whatever cooperation, whatever assistance they give to countries like Guyana. Who fills that gap? What happens there? It becomes one, as Force has been saying, the banking system getting messed up. Right? Two, all these allies using the same banking system. Two, travel to the US and those allied countries becomes more difficult. So why put ourselves in a position because of one individual who at the end of the day, I keep repeating this, despite whatever Azardine Mohammed says to anyone, Azardine broke the law. Azardine broke the law. Think about it. So you're trying to tell me that either President Ali or Vice President Jagdeo or Prime Minister Mark Phillips call somebody in the States and tell them, do me a favor, no? prosecute this man and institute OFAC charges on you just because I feel like doing it today. Set it up there for me. That's not how these things just work. That is not how these things just work. If you don't want to believe Guyanese, believe the Americans. They said they got a mountain of evidence. So what you're trying to tell me that this all evidence provided by the PPP? No, they got their own people on the ground doing investigation. The ambassador said, look, this can cause a problem if this man make it into parliament because we got to watch how we're dealing with certain committees and these kinds of things. It's not Guyanese say so. But isn't that enough to show persons, well, hey, this might not be a good option? Now, with foreign funding and backing, WIN could manipulate campaign resources to distort the will of the people of this country. This would in turn undermine free and fair elections, returning Guyana into, well, I should say returning, but turning Guyana into a pawn for the Maduro regime. Now, instead of being seen as raising democracy, Guyana would be viewed as a compromised state infiltrated by foreign agents. We don't want to go down that road. We don't want to go down that road. Now, I saw T. Mohammed's produced a statement. They released a statement on this matter. Right? Just let me pull it up on screen for you. All right, good. So this is the statement released by T. Mohammed's, right? On the revelations by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Again, the level of stupidity that continues to effervesce out of T. Mohammed and the WIN party continues to astonish me. Right? So his starting punchline, produce the evidence. Produce the evidence. That's what he's starting this with. Produce the evidence. I want to say to you, ask Mohammed, the evidence is already on record. Right? If you don't understand, ask. The Venezuelan ambassador himself confirmed. Now, let me repeat, because apparently AS doesn't understand how international relations work. The Venezuelan ambassador himself, AS, confirmed to Guyana's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Utah, that Team AS applied for visas for Caracas. That's an official communication between two countries. That's a minister of government talking to an ambassador of the ambassador of another country. That's official communication. Now, this was stated publicly by Minister Todd. And again, as it carries diplomatic weight. Right? Lying in this context would be an international scandal for Venezuela's representative. And even you, AS, don't realize that. If AS truly wants proof, he should authorize the embassy to release the CCTV footage, the visitor log, and the visa application records, and commit AS to resigning if they show that you were there. You make contact with the embassy and you authorize them through your lawyer, whoever it is, to release CCTV footage. Every embassy has a visitor's log. Everybody going in there that don't work there, you got to log in. And of course, there must be records of the visa applications. So if that's the case, authorize them. But I'm putting to you as, if you are found to be culpable, I'm saying that you should resign. You should resign as presidential candidate. Now, this here is classic the deflection tactics. Instead of addressing the serious of links to a foreign regime that wants to seize Guyana's land, as usual, is shouting PPP corruption without having anything to back it up. No, brother, no matter what you do, it's always the PPP's fault you're doing it. This is a textbook move by individuals caught in a compromising position. Attack the accuser rather than face the facts. What we need to understand is that there has been a history of shady dealings. AS conveniently ignores the fact that he and his father are US sanctioned for gold smuggling and money laundering and defrauding Guyana of over US $50 million. So right off the bat, his credibility is already destroyed internationally. It is far from plausible that a man under OFAC sanctions and accused of working with Venezuela's gold network would have business in Caracas than not. You understand me? You have a reason to be there. Now, the hypocrisy in his sovereignty argument in the statement, I have to highlight it. AS accuses the PPPC of being in bed with Venezuela, whilst he's the one accused of courting Maduro's regime. Which PPP government official, minister, ambassador, or anybody going to look for a Venezuelan visa? Which government official you could say, well, we have on record, or we know of this person going to the Venezuelan embassy to seek a visa to go over there? Let us know as, if Venezuela is such a threat to Guyana's sovereignty, why is a supposed patriot like us accused by both US lawmakers and Guyana's foreign ministry of cultivating ties with that same regime? Now, if WIN's leader is making secret trips to Venezuela, this is not just bad optics. It's a national security risk. WIN's backers must answer, whose side are you on? This is not PPP. This is not WIN. This is not APNU. Is either you on Guyana side or you on Venezuela and Maduro side? You got to pick a side. This topic is not one for defense. You have to pick a side. Now, there's a continued misuse of political persecution, this claim of political persecution. AS's cry of political persecution is identical to what every sanctioned criminal says when they are caught. It is nothing different. This isn't about PPP versus WIN. It's about Guyana's security, Guyana's democracy, and Guyana's borders at the end of the day. The US doesn't sanction people lightly. And Venezuela doesn't hand out visas to such individuals without expecting something in return. Right? Just be clear. Venezuela will not hand out a visa to people like that without expecting something in return. So, as this isn't a PvP smear campaign, this is a matter of national security and sovereignty. Azadine's track record, international sanctions, and alleged Venezuelan links make him unfit to lead this country. I am saying so to all of you here today. If Azadine is so innocent, let him release the embassy's visitors' logs, security footage for the world to see. Until then, Guyana should assume he's hiding something. And I don't know what I'm saying is dangerous to our sovereignty. Right? It is dangerous to our sovereignty. Also, I am looking at this from the standpoint of, I feel like there's this plan, because I honestly think Az understands he will not win these elections. He may get some votes, but he will not win these elections. There is a plan to shepherd him out of here as fast as possible. So with the visa, you can't say he's in Venezuela illegally, right? Because he got visa access. And as we know, Venezuela and US don't agree. So Venezuela would never extradite us from Venezuela to the US to stand trial for his transgressions. He knows that staying here, that is more than likely to happen. More than likely. At some point, they can say, all right, good, you got enough evidence, court, pop, take, you go your way. You go your way. Anyway, guys, this morning it's just a half an hour. I have to get into Georgetown. They have quite a few events happening today that I need to cover. Thank you guys for being here, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys for joining me here on TikTok as well. Please remember to follow the page, like the live, send the gift, man. Thank you for being here. And as I usually say, wait, no, I have a video to play for y'all.
Them in fun doing it again.
Mommy, 5 more years upon them, my brother.
In fun doing it again.
Mommy, what is what 5 years you're talking about?
If you make her dancing up so bad.
5 more years.
She's singing, but nah, this is the election done since the second time.
Y'all, but it's not what I could be confused. And I'm glad that I hear about the public meeting.
What part of the public meeting? Keep in here?
In the Alexander Village.
Cross.
And you know who's the speaker?
Who's
You
the
know,
speaker?
Vice President and the President.
Honorable Dr. Barajagio. The only Vice President to Guyana ever had.
That is correct.
And the only president to Guyana
The
got.
fittest person to run this country, my
You
brother.
understand?
Yeah,
I
that's
say
the man.
them
Yeah.
because
only
I
person.
know them gonna explain to me. Cause right now nothing got me
Mommy, don't
confused.
take off your wig.
What? Anyway, guys, we got a public meeting in Alexander Village today. If you have some time, make sure you go down there and hear all the plans and all that stuff. I am out of here. And like I was saying to you before, as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace, it's all about love, it's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one crab. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Make no mistake, we ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.